Hey everyone, this is Pallavi, and today we are going to explore the third game of the book, The Most Instructive Games of Chess Ever Played by Erving Chernev. This game, played between Isaac Boleslavsky and Georgy Lisitsin in Moscow in 1956, showcases the power of a knight outpost on d5. With the Sicilian defense as the battleground, it's a fantastic lesson in positional play. Let's get started. White started with e4, black played c5, knight to f3, d6, d4, c takes d4, knight takes d4, knight f6, knight c3, g6, the Sicilian defense dragon variation. Now white played bishop e3, black played bishop to g7. Now white played f3. This move reinforces the center, stops knight g4 from attacking the bishop and forcing an exchange, and sets the stage for a future pawn storm with g4 and h4. Now black played kingside castle, white played queen to d2, knight c6, castle on the queen side, knight takes d4, bishop takes d4. If instead queen takes d4, then knight g4, discovered attack on the queen, queen to d3, knight takes e3, queen takes e3, and it's a better position, slightly better position for black. So after knight takes d4, white played bishop takes d4, queen a5, king to b1, threatens knight d5, which will be attacking, attacking the queen. And when the queen goes to d8 to support the e7 pawn, knight takes f6, bishop takes f6, then bishop takes f6, e takes f6, and then queen takes d6, wins the d pawn. If after knight a5, black plays queen takes d2, then knight takes e7 check, wins a pawn. So right now black played e5, attacking the bishop. Bishop moved to e3, black developed the bishop to e6. Now white played a3. If instead of a3 had white played queen takes d6, then bishop takes a2 check, knight takes a2, rook f d8 leaves advantage for black. So after bishop e3, white played black played bishop e6. Now white played a3, rook f d8, prepares for an eventual d5, which would free his game. Knight b5. This strong move disrupts black's plans. If now queen takes d2, then rook takes d2 follows, threatening rook takes d6, and knight c7. After rook a c8, knight takes e6, giving white the edge with the bishop pair against a knight and bishop. So after knight b5, black played queen to a4. The d pawn is attacked 3 times, but capturing it leads to disaster. In the book's version, after knight takes d6, black goes knight e8, then bishop c5, then knight takes d6, bishop takes d6, bishop f8, putting pressure on the pinned bishop, then queen to b4, rook takes d6, rook takes d6, because if queen takes a4, then rook takes d1, it's a checkmate. So rook takes d6, then queen takes b4, a takes b4, then bishop takes d6, and black wins a piece. However, after going through engine, I found that instead of moving bishop c5 on the 16th move here, white has better option, which is bishop to c5. Let's see that continuation. So instead of, after knight e8, instead of bishop c5, white's best move is to play bishop b5. The black queen is trapped because after queen takes b5, knight takes b5, rook takes d2, rook takes d2, and it's a better position for white. So instead of playing knight e8 directly here, after knight takes d6, it's better to play a6 first to stop the bishop from coming to b5. After a6, then knight e8, putting pressure on the pinned knight. So after queen a4, now white played c4. A brilliant forcing sacrifice. Declining it traps black, preventing d5 and allowing white to gain time with knight c3 followed by knight d5, securing a strong outpost. Here white aims to prevent black's freeing move d5, securing his knight on d5 by eliminating its defenders, the bishop on e6 and the knight on f6. After c4, black captured bishop takes c4. Now white played knight to c3, attacking the queen. Queen moved to b3. Now white played bishop takes c4, then queen takes c4. One black piece is gone. Now to eliminate the other, which is the knight on f6. So white played bishop to g5. White pins the knight, preventing its escape and ensuring its removal from the board. Now black played queen to e6. Bishop takes f6, queen takes f6, and then white played knight to d5. We'll see if Boleslavsky bold strategy pays off. He sacrificed a valuable pawn for the intangible benefit of his knight's secure position. The knight dominates the board, but is it worth the pawn? Let's see. Queen h4. Now white played queen to e2. So here, after queen h4, black aims to block white's kingside pawn advance, because after g3 he plans to play queen h3, and after h3 he will respond with the bishop h6 followed by bishop f4. So now white played queen to e2, bishop f8. Now white played queen f1, a subtle preparatory move. If g3 is played immediately instead of queen f1, then queen h3 would block the h pawn. So white played queen f1 first so that he can play push the pawn to g3, and the queen will be controlling the h3 square. Now rook a c8, controlling the c file. White played g3. The pawns begin advancing to disrupt black's kingside. Queen to g5, h4 attacking the queen, and then the queen goes to h6. If instead black plays queen takes g3, now rook to d2, leaves black helpless against rook g2, threatening to win the queen. So black moved the queen to h6, and now g4. White plans g5, then queen g7. If instead queen h5, then knight f6, it's a double attack and white gains the queen. So after g5, queen to g7, and now knight f6, check, king h8, h5, threatening h6 to win the queen over here. So after h5, if black goes g takes h5, then rook takes h5, the attack on the h pawn forces black to surrender the queen. So after g4, now black played g5. White captured h takes g5, black captured queen takes g5. White played rook h5, attacking the queen. Queen goes to g6, and now white played a good move, g5. It threatens destruction with knight f6 check, followed by rook takes h7 check. Black has no defense after queen takes h5, as knight f6 check wins the queen, or after bishop g7, when knight e7 check achieves the same result. So black played h6. Now white played another good move. Rook takes h6. Because if now bishop takes h6, then knight e7 check wins the queen. So after rook takes h6, black played queen takes g5. Now white played another good move, rook h5. And now black resigned. Because after queen g6, the sequence continues with queen h1 threatening rook to g1 to win the queen, followed by black goes queen e6 and then rook h8 check, king g7 and queen to h7 and checkmate. The kingside pawns did an impressive job opening files for the heavy pieces. So that was the game. Now let's see the key lessons from this game. Number 1, center control and knight outposts. Securing a strong outpost for the knight like on d5 can dominate the board and create long-term strategic advantages. Number 2, piece coordination. Effective piece placement such as using a knight to control the key squares and coordinating it with other pieces can lead to devastating attacks and combinations. Number 3, pawn sacrifice for positional gain. Sacrificing pawns can be justified if it results in a superior positional advantage, such as dominant knight or attacking chances on the king side. Number 4, exploiting weaknesses. When the opponent's defenses are weakened, example after piece exchange or misplaced pieces, you can exploit those weaknesses through calculated tactics like pins, forks, and attacks on the king. Number 5, initiative and attack. Pushing the pawns on the king side like g4 and h4 etc. can open files and create attacking chances for your heavy pieces such as rooks and queens to exploit. King safety. Number 6 is king safety. The game emphasizes the importance of making moves that not only create threats but also keep your king safe while putting pressure on the opponent's king. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment and share to support the channel, and don't forget to subscribe for more chess content. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.